We've seen this play out in Minneapolis during the past few weeks. So let's get a few facts straight. On January 7th, ICE officers shot and killed Renee Good while she was in her own car. She was a mother of 3, originally from Colorado Springs. Then again, this past weekend, Americans watched the videotape of federal immigration agents shooting and killing Alex Preddy. They fired 10 times in 5 seconds. It's sickening. No family should have to witness their loved one being killed in such a fashion, and yet, obviously, Alex's parents did. His parents live in Colorado. I connected with them earlier this week. Among other things, they wanted to make sure that we do everything we can to make sure that Alex's name is out front, that we keep their son's story alive, to make sure that his life wasn't lost in vain. They've asked for truth and accountability. And what they're getting, what all of us are getting, are excuses and lies about their son. The reality of who Alex Preddy was doesn't fit the administration's playbook. So they're filling the airwaves with lies, repeating them over and over and over to try and somehow get them to stick. DHS Secretary Noem, within hours of Preddy's death, said, and I quote, "It looks like a situation where an individual arrived on the scene to inflict maximum violence and to kill law enforcement," end quote. Next was Greg Bovino, Trump's now-fired Border Patrol commander, saying Preddy intended, and I quote, "to massacre law enforcement," end quote, and that he, quote, "violently resisted." Stephen Miller called Alex Preddy a domestic terrorist, with Vice President Vance and President Trump promoting that sentiment and that blatant lie from their pulpits. By this point, we have all seen that video from multiple angles. We've seen it with our own eyes. Alex was not a terrorist. He was in no way an assassin. He was a U.S. citizen exercising his First Amendment right to protest ICE's lawlessness. This week, families in Eagle County, Colorado, experienced another type of cruelty that fits into this administration's playbook. They found death cards held up in the automobiles of their family members who were taken away by ICE agents. These cards, I hold one up here, have a history of being used by white supremacist groups to intimidate people of color. Death cards is what they call them. These cards found in Colorado had the address and the phone number of the Aurora ICE detention facility printed on them. Aurora is a sister city, neighboring city to Denver. Now imagine just for a second that you haven't heard from your brother, your sister, and when you finally find their empty, abandoned car, it has one of these death cards sitting in the driver's seat. I mean, this is cruelty for the sake of cruelty. And it fits into the troubling pattern that we're seeing come from some of the top officials in the White House. Now, this morning I voted against government funding that would have handed billions of dollars to DHS. Continuing to fund ICE while federal officers terrorize our cities and kill people is unconscionable. We need to stop ICE officers beating Americans, killing Americans, arresting Americans without due process, taking away the civil rights of Americans. The overhaul of ICE that we're demanding is common sense. The fact is that these are all basic standards of local law enforcement who go after violent criminals, gangsters, in many ways the worst of the worst. These are standards that those local police officers already follow. ICE needs first to take their masks off. They need to turn on body cameras. They need to be clearly identified. There can be no accountability without transparency. No more unmarked vans and masked agents pulling people over and pulling people away and arresting them to wherever. No more roving patrols. ICE needs to have judicial warrants signed by a judge. They need to stop arresting children on the side of the road and end these cruel family separation policies.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to Mirror Now.